right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Blind View. And here's your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, everybody. How is everyone on this fine Wednesday evening? It's so great to be with you once again. And we have Brandon and Anya, my regular co hosts, with us tonight, as well as Lori is joining us. Um,
Hi there.
Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Hi.
With Jinx on you owe me a Coke. A regular one, too. None of this diet zero crap. A regular Coca-Cola.
Hey guys, one thing I wanted to point out to our viewers and to the panel, our panel's getting a little heavy one way if people haven't noticed. We have, what is it, 3 women on the panel to 1 guy? I think I'm going to invite our viewers, if you are a blind man in America, if you would like to come on the Blind View for a couple of episodes and try out your hand as being a blind panelist, please send us an email at beccameadows76@gmail.com so we can consider you, because I would like to get some more guys on the panel. Right, guys?
And you men don't have to be afraid either, because you see and you hear. I don't give these ladies any slack. I just say what I say, and that's what I say, and we talk about it, and it's fine. So
And we ladies give Brandon a chance to speak. So
And you throw it back at me like, Anya recently said, no. I vehemently disagree. And that's fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah, that's how it is.
okay, so since we were talking about jury duty today before the meeting, let's go ahead and talk about some of our experiences with jury duty, right? Okay, guys? First of all,
right.
who on the panel has at least been called for jury duty? Say aye. Aye.
No.
Okay, so 3 yeses and 1 no then?
Well, I'm another no because I just recently became a citizen, so I still might be called, but not yet.
Oh, okay. I hadn't even thought about that angle, Anya, about the citizenship part, but I guess that would cause another wrinkle in it.
2 yeses and 2 nos. A perfectly even split. How interesting.
Yeah. So who was the other one that had been called for jury duty then? Was it Brandon or?
I have, yeah.
So Brandon, what was your experience when you got called for jury duty?
I got called for it. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know the reason, although I suspect that we'll get into this, but I didn't get to go and participate in the trial. And I kind of wanted to too, because that was for a really, despicable scumbag. So I wanted to, but I wasn't chosen. So, but I think that could be for a variety of reasons, though.
Wait, did you know the details of the case at that point when they told you?
Yeah, I knew the general details. Yeah.
And what was the case?
Brandon already expressed the opinion that the case was for, did you say real bad sleazebag or something like that? So if he expressed that opinion when he went to jury duty, I see why they didn't choose him.
No, but I didn't though. I just showed up and signed in, and I thought it in my head, but I didn't articulate that because I didn't want a brawl to start right in the courthouse lobby. I didn't want that.
Right. Yeah, so I also was called to jury duty, and I showed up on 2 different occasions, maybe a third time, right? And I had the same experience both times, and both times were when I lived in Missoula, right? And it was so frustrating. Here's the thing. I've always wanted to serve on a jury, not just to do my civic duty, but to have the experience, right? Because I know that not a lot of blind people get to serve on juries. And so every time I've been called, I respond and I go. And it was so frustrating when I lived in Missoula, because I would pay to take a lift down to the courthouse to report for jury duty. And I would walk in and they'd check my, like the person at the door would check my name off the list when I walked through, right? And that person would see me with my cane, right? And other people would see me with my cane. But as soon as I got further into the building, and it was usually the second or third person that spoke to me would usually be the one who'd look down their nose at me and say, "You don't have to serve on this jury." And I was like, "But I want to serve. But we don't need you. You can be excused."
What?
Yes, it was terrible. It made me so mad when I lived in Missoula, right?
That's terrible.
Yeah, and not only because I spent cab fare to go down there and come back, right? And it took like a lot of time out of my day, right? But because they were discriminating against me because I was blind, right? That's what really made me mad. And
So,
I can imagine.
wait, hold on, because you said two things recently
what?
that I want to see if you can kind of substantiate or at least let me know why you think that. So you said a lot of blind people don't get to. I don't know about that. And then you said you felt like you were being discriminated against.
Yes. So let me tell you, I know this is a problem because
Is it? I did not know. Okay.
I read a lot, right? And do you know who John Grisham is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I've
The
read
author,
a
yes.
lot of his novels, right? I discovered John Grisham when I was in high school, and I've read a lot of his novels. And this one called The Runaway Jury. I mean, I love all his books, and a lot of them are on Bard, right? But this one called The Runaway Jury. On the jury, there's a blind man who shows up for jury duty, and they try to dismiss him the same way they did me, right?
Mm.
But the guy, he's really bold and really outspoken to them, right? And he winds up serving on the jury, right? And John Grisham, having had so much legal experience, it's really interesting in the book how he writes about how it affects the jury experts that either side has hired, right? Because they don't know how to judge a blind juror, you know what I mean? They have all these details and stuff that they consider when they are looking at the sighted jurors, to judge them, and you know what I mean, so they can advise the attorneys who've hired them, but they really don't know how to judge a blind juror, and that's why they don't like having blind people on juries, because they you know what I mean, they just feel like we're unpredictable because they can't like look at, well, in their opinions, they can't learn anything about us from our past, really, I guess, because we haven't seen a lot of the things that make other people, have certain types of thoughts about things. You know what I mean?
So
And
hold on. So hold on. I'm just gonna ask Gemini right now, just to see what it says. Let me see. I gotta. Hey, what the hell does vision or lack of vision have to do with serving jury duty?
Vision can be a factor if a case relies heavily on visual evidence, as a juror needs to be able to assess that evidence to serve their role properly. However, being blind or visually impaired doesn't automatically disqualify someone. Courts must consider accommodations on a case-by-case basis. So if your eyeballs are more or less useless, you might get a pass if the case involves, say, identifying a suspect from a grainy surveillance photo. Otherwise, welcome to the Thunderdome.
You see,
That's a good one.
I'm trying to be sarcastic as far as I'm concerned. But see, even Gemini admits it does not automatically disqualify you, although it sounds like it may, but it doesn't automatically.
I think that's one prejudice, one situation in which a person looks at, like a sighted person looks at a blind person and they prejudge them, right? I think that's one case of prejudice where people, they give themselves a pass on being prejudiced against us. You know what I mean? Because they think, they jump to the conclusion, oh, he or she cannot see, therefore they cannot grasp the evidence. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't automatically, but it's on paper, but in reality, they do get disqualified. I don't know if you guys have heard if you're familiar with NFB quite a bit, so they do annual mock trials.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So and they're
I always love those, by the way.
yeah, those are really great.
They
Yeah,
are.
Yeah, but the only problem though is that those are hosted by blind attorneys who are already attorneys in the legal system.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not the point. The point is that they take real cases from real life and they play them out. And I purchased the thumb drive with the previous mock trials that have been done over the years.
Oh wow!
After
Are you
Scotland
sure
Yard
those are? Are you sure those are actual cases? Because
yes, they are.
I've only really ever been able to get into one of the mock trials at the annual convention because basically they're really popular, right? And there's several reasons why, but I've only ever really gotten into one of these mock trials at the annual convention, right? But it seems to me like the lawyers that like the participants had names and case the material that the case was based upon was a joke. So I don't know that they're based on actual trials, but the lawyers exercise actual law, like actual courtroom etiquette, and they use the same terminology. It's like a lot of it's Latin and stuff. They use the same terminology that they do in a actual courtroom when they do the mock trial. And so it makes it really interesting, and it makes it really funny too, because like I said, they make up funny names and they make up a funny
Yes, they
situation.
do.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's still based on the real deal, like on a real court. And the reason I
Yeah.
mentioned it was because one of those cases, I think it was from the 1990s or maybe early 2000s. They were playing out the case involving Julie Deaton, the director of
Right.
yeah, and this really happened to her when I think it was in District of Columbia. Yeah, so she was called for the jury duty, and
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and she was dismissed solely based on her blindness. So and then
Yeah.
she raised stink about it. So the whole case is around it. How
Oh
the
wow.
judge did not want her to serve. Yeah,
Oh.
so this does happen.
Oh wow! In that
So
one, even
what
it
do you
got
know?
that high. Even the judge did not want her. Oh wow!
Exactly. Yeah, but it was
Well,
in the 90s. Yeah.
that's interesting. I had never
Very
heard that. So do you
interesting.
know? So Julie she never was able to serve on the jury. Did she ever do anything about it? Because it seems like she's like an activist type.
Well, of course she
It
did
sounds like
because
she did.
yeah, that's why that case ended up on the mock trial because it actually took place. You
So
know,
did she? But she didn't win it. It sounds like.
I think she did. I have to listen to it again because it's been a minute since I listened to it. But it was very interesting. Like it
It
obviously they
sounds
were
like it would be.
yeah.
So where did you get the information that you're sharing with us? Then you said you heard it somewhere. You were going to listen to it again. Can you share with us so we can go?
Yeah, well, like I said, I purchased the thumb drive with previous mock trials, the recording.
Oh, okay.
I believe you can get that on nfb.org, I think.
I
Oh,
didn't even know that was an item for sale. That's kind of cool,
It
actually.
was that year when Scott Labar passed away
Yes.
a couple of years ago. So in his honor, they recorded those because that's what he wanted to do. And
Oh,
they were selling for $20. They were selling thumb drives.
That's correct.
Yeah, with recordings of it. It's really cool. Like
yeah.
you can hear people like from the
that's
90s.
not bad price wise.
No, it's not.
Do you get like a bunch? Do you know like how many trials you got access to?
I think it was like 10 or 15. It was
That's not bad. That's like $1
That
per
sounds really
trial.
That's a
cool.
good amount.
Now,
Wow.
and I'm sure they're still available on nfb.org if our viewers want to go up there and check it out. I think I'll go check it
I'll have
out.
to get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it,
didn't get that at the time because I didn't know what it was.
yeah, that's
But
lawyers division, blind
Right.
lawyers division who was handling that. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a way to get them still. Yeah.
that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, and what I wonder is kind of going back to what Becca said and just this general topic. I forget what the show was. It was pretty riveting, but I think it's over now. But the guy wasn't an attorney, but he worked in what he called jury science, right? And so he like tried to help attorneys pick the right jury, right? So it's like I wonder what is that a real thing? Like I wonder what goes into defining what makes up a good or a qualified, I guess I should say, juror. Because blind people, we don't have anything necessarily wrong with our mental faculties. So we can use logic, we can use inference, we can use deduction, we can understand philosophy. We don't have any necessarily kind of mental handicaps or difficulties.
Well, not
So
every
I
blind
don't- I
person
mean-
is like that, but neither is sighted. I mean, there's still pretty messed up sighted people out there too.
Right. Well, and as blind people, we all know we can glean a great deal from our other senses as well. We I feel like
Yes.
if we were on a jury as blind jurors, like we would see, and I'm putting air quotes on the word see, we would see things about the case, the situation, and the participants that other people would not see. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just because we would be able to block out certain things that sighted people would be hung up on and distracted by, and we would be able, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
and I don't see how it would hurt to have one blind person per jury panel. I don't see. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying we all have to be blind, but I don't see what it would hurt to have
No.
one.
the
Yeah.
justice is blind, remember? So
Yeah, justice. Isn't that interesting that justice is supposed to be blind, and yet they tend to turn away blind citizens from
You're
serving
right.
on juries? It just irritates me to
It
no
is
end.
irritating.
I can't wait till the day when our countrymen finally realize what our true abilities are as blind people. And
So
that day is
true.
coming very soon. I believe it. So.
but did they actually, like, did they look you up? Did they study your information before inviting you over? So you're absolutely sure that was because of blindness, right? Not because of any other factor that they might, like your
See,
bias.
and that's what I'm saying too. I don't know why I wasn't allowed to. Right. I don't know. I assume, right, like you're saying, that they would have like investigated me at least a little bit. So I don't know. It could be something just as simple as I thought maybe they just overbooked and they don't need they only need X many jurors and they have Y, which is a higher number. So I don't know.
It's just like they know my grandfather was a policeman, and they know both my grandfather and dad were in the service, so I'm automatically not wanted.
I think the next time they call me to serve on a jury, I'm gonna, I don't know, say something really embarrassing, like I don't know, I'll just act like I'm like really crazy, and maybe I'll act like I'm seriously racist or something crazy, right? So like, I want people to really be like, dude, she's blind and she's not prejudiced. We don't want her on this jury, right? Or something like that, right? So I can be as stupid as they are when they're kicking me out without considering me.
Well, that's a good idea, Becca.
I want to demonstrate.
Actually, I don't know if it's a good idea. She might be thrown in jail for something else. I don't know. But
Well, you have a good point too, Brandon.
It's worth a shot, though. I guess you.
Yeah, it is worth a shot. I can see you doing it, Becca.
Well, serving on a jury can be dangerous too. Like, and I'm not just saying this from reading so many of John Grisham's books and having so much reading about so much crazy stuff, right? But I remember a number of years ago.
Wait. Hold on. Did you say? I was yawning. Sorry. No, I'm not bored. I don't know. But did you say jury duty can be dangerous? Did you say that? What did you say?
Yes, and I'll tell you
why. What the heck? How is that?
I'll tell you why it can be dangerous, because serving in a courtroom can be dangerous. Do you guys remember? It was sometime after 2004 when I got screwed in the courtroom, because I remember I was watching the news when I first saw this report, and on the one hand, I was shocked and mortified, but on the other hand, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, probably serves that judge right. And it was a case where someone actually got a gun into a courtroom, and they blew the judge away. And I think the court reporter, and stuff like that. And I have to tell you guys, at the time, Yeah, it was pretty horrific. And at the time, I was very angry at the system. And like I said, in the back of my mind, I thought, serves them right. But I was shocked, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that can be scary.
Yeah.
But Becca, your case was being decided by the jurors too.
No, mine was decided by a single judge. I think if I would have been able to have my case heard by a panel of my what are they called? A panel of jurors from my community or whatever they call it, you know what I mean? If
The
it would have
jury
been
of your
jury
peers, yeah.
during my case, oh, it would have been a slam dunk that I would have won. And I'll tell you why. Because those jurors would have been taken from people from the community. And all the people in my life, people who knew me and people who didn't even know me, who had just met me, people who heard about that crazy situation, they always said, you shouldn't be in that. That doesn't fit your situation, blah, 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 blah. So, but the problem was my case was being heard by judges who were in bed with the guardian, who were friends with the guardian, right? And the guardian and the bankers were plotting against me and stealing from me and stuff. And so that was my problem. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good side.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks.
I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know the problem? The biggest problem in the blind community is you sighted people.
Just take your look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh,
On your right.
you're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
Gigi, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day.
No, of
Sometimes.
course not.
Hey, is everybody with us?
Sure.
I am
too. Are we still
hanging
here?
out on the
Yeah.
blind view with
Okay.
you.
Okay. So,
Something happened to
does
the
anybody else have anything to add to what we were talking about before the commercial break?
Well, the only thing I can think of that a few years ago at our convention, NFB National Convention, when there was the big case, I just asked my husband because I couldn't remember. So it was Casey Anthony, who was accused of killing her daughter, right?
Oh, I remember that case.
Yeah, so, and it was very, hot case, and the jurors had to be hidden away somewhere. So, and they ended up hiding them at our convention. It was so weird.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the?
Interesting.
What at your state
How do you
convention?
know?
How do I know that? Because they. One second. Let me ask.
I mean, that's kind of
Wait.
disrespectful too.
Do you mean they hid them at your state convention?
No,
she
no,
said
national.
national.
Which national was this?
Yeah.
Orlando. Robert, you want to say that?
And that's kind of disrespectful too, because what did they think? Oh, they won't recognize any of our jurors. They're blind. What? Oh my Lord, that's so
really
short-sighted.
incredible. I had
Yes,
no
it is
idea.
incredible.
Yeah.
I can recognize people by their cologne or perfume. People, I can recognize people by the sound of their shoes. People.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the sound of their
thinking that the only
footsteps.
way that I can recognize somebody is if I see their face is absolutely asinine.
You know how
Yeah.
I can identify a lot of people is just by them clearing their throat. Like the people, my friends and family, and all the people that I know, I can identify every one of them just by the sound of them clearing their throat.
Well,
Yes.
Becky, if you want, like my husband can quickly step in and tell. Well, he knows a little bit more details about that.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Can Robert share what he knows?
That's just crazy. They hid them at A blindness convention?
This is amazing.
Get this, Brandon. So I'm out by the pool and I see these helicopters circling over. News
Whoa,
helicopter.
okay.
And I thought, must have been a wreck out on the interstate or something. So they're hanging up there for a while. So I go inside the building, go up the main stairway towards the front door, and 12 Orange County sheriffs come in with their war faces on. And I'm like, whoa, something's happening here. And the bartenders are shutting off all the television sets.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I'm going, this is kind of weird. So there was one bartender that I over tipped so that he would over pour. So I cornered him and said, hey, what's going on here? And he goes, well, they sequestered the Casey Anthony jury here and they just brought back the verdict today. And so it was like a huge national event. But I'm like Brandon Nader. After I thought about that for a minute, I thought, oh, yeah, you can, we had that hotel booked years in advance. So somebody down at the courthouse is like, hey, I got a wacky idea. Let's hide him at the blind convention.
Was this at the Rose Shingo, by the way?
Yes, it was.
Wow, because I was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. So do you know what year that was?
Wow.
What year was that?
Yeah, what year was that?
Anthony, I remember that. Let's see. I don't even know if I was at that one because I didn't join the NFB till 2014. Was that before 2014?
I think it was, wasn't it?
I don't recall the year, but I'll
I
never
didn't go to one in 2013.
I'm just saying that just so everybody knows, I guess they're really lucky that they pulled that up because it seems like that could result in a lot of, I think procedural misconduct is a legal term, right? Because the premise of thinking, oh wow, they're a bunch of blind people, they're not going to recognize any of these people. I mean, that is incredibly short-sighted.
Yeah.
But we don't really know that's what they thought. It's
right, we don't know that, but
listen, I doubt that was their thought. They probably thought the majority of the people at this location are blind because there were sighted people around. There's always sighted people at our conventions, right?
Yes, that's right.
And because there's also the hotel staff, other guests at the hotel, and then there's a lot of sighted members of the NFB as well that are there,
Yeah, we're not the only convention there.
Right. But just because the majority of, because when you're trying to hide people, if you can find a place where at least the majority of the people won't recognize them, at least you have a better shot of succeeding, keeping them safe.
Wow.
So it kind of makes sense that
I know, but now today, we all have, Android phones and iPhones and stuff. And so can you imagine like we're just hanging out like what was said, like hanging out at the pool, like hanging out in the bar, and some of them start talking, and boy, if we recorded that and we were to say like, hey, you'll never believe what I just heard. I was sitting in the bar and one of the juries from this case just came in. Oh, wow, we could get them in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But then we'd probably get in trouble too, though, so I don't
There's a lot of crazy stuff that's happened at our conventions. Like last year or the year before, I think it was Gino ran into somebody in the elevator that was there for a swingers party or something like that. So there's all and the last time, let's see, a few years ago, I took my son David with me a few years ago, and David and I wound up going to an NA party at the hotel because we were kind of bored with what was going on at the convention. And there was like this electric party going on down the hall. Like we could hear the music and I could feel the floor vibrating. and it sounded like there were people there having a really good time. So I said to David, David, let's go down there. And we walked down there and I opened up the door and I could see like all these lights, like different colored lights and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And the music was much louder and I could see people in there having a good time. So David and I just went in and hung out and it was really great.
Wow. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody know? Because like was also mentioned, I know that for a while they honestly really did have a contractual agreement with that hotel in Orlando for years and years and years.
They did.
That has since expired. Does anybody know where National is going to be next year? I'm glad they're moving.
It's going to be in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Oh,
really?
I
might go to Austin, Texas. I didn't want to go back to New Orleans. I hated New Orleans.
Oh,
the first time. So, but I'd love to go to Texas. So maybe I'll go
it's going to be
year.
in Austin, Texas for 2 years in a row.
Oh, really? Awesome.
And
Yeah,
then it's going to Chicago for 2 years. And then it's coming to Phoenix, Arizona in 2030.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I've been wondering why the heck they haven't had it here yet. Thanks for letting me know. Letting us know, Lori.
They had it twice in the 1980s here, but we haven't had it here in a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I still think it's moving around some though. I mean, I think it'll do people good to use their cane skills.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. And
or
a lot
just
of people
travel itself.
And we can take down right to the to the hotel. We won't have to take an airplane.
Because I'll tell you, man, I was at National when it was in Las Vegas, and
Yeah, I was too.
Anywhere there were hotel security that are like, "You're going where? I've never been over there before." It wasn't just us.
Yeah, I like that. Vegas was pretty cool.
I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It
I
was
did too.
really
I did
awesome.
too. I was there for that one. So
I was too.
That was a magic convention, I felt, because it was our last convention before the quarantine hit. And I
Yeah,
know
it
a lot of
was.
really incredible stuff happened to me that month.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it was kind of weird walking to the general session through the casino. Like, if you don't.
yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And you had to. There was no other way to do it.
There
You had to
wasn't.
walk.
Oh yeah.
I guess you could have went outside and did it that way, but then
So guys, since we're talking about the convention, should we talk about some of our fondest memories of conventions? Like,
I mean, I haven't been to very many, so
I really like the fact that when we go to an NFB convention, like there's so many people around that we can just walk up to and start hanging out with, and it's just like we've been friends forever.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it takes away so many of the obstacles when it comes to just talking to people when most of the people around you are blind also. And I love the fact that there's so much to do at the convention. You know what I mean?
I do
They have
too.
so many different things going on because there's so many people involved and everybody uses their own ideas and their own hearts and minds and energies to create their own little piece of the convention. I think the convention's really great. And if there's one complaint I have about the convention is I wish it was 2 weeks long so I could actually get around and take advantage of more of it. Because I always feel like I miss out on a lot of stuff, because
Well,
I get
you could
lost a
always
lot
stay.
or whatever.
You could always stay extra. Lots of people stay.
Yeah,
extra
I
time.
guess I could
Or
do
they
that.
come early.
Yeah, but will there still be events going on after the convention has ended to even participate in? You know what I mean?
No, there aren't really events, but people make their own plans, like in whatever city
Yeah.
they're in, and they go
Yeah.
Disney or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But I think I know what Becca's saying, and it's like, yeah, I don't think it's possible to take in everything at a single convention. It's just not because there could be 3 different things all starting at the same time.
That's
You just
correct.
got to pick one, which means you'll miss out on the other 2. Or I guess you could like start in one and then go to another, but you're still
I've
going to
done
miss
that.
the third. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're still going to miss the third if there's like 3 different things.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I like the location. I know, Becca, you said you hated New Orleans. I did too. I hated the super festive vibe that everybody's playing loud music and party.
Right.
I cannot stand that.
I actually liked New Orleans. I had a good time both times I went.
I think I would
Yeah.
feel more like Lori. I mean, so I don't know.
No, I like
I-
it. Okay, I like the fact that you could walk up to so many places. Like,
What one thing I like I like Las Vegas because there was a lot of going on there too.
There
I
was.
I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. Maybe I really don't know a comparison as to really which one was a lot larger, but I just felt like in New Orleans, I really felt like I don't know, like it wasn't working for me. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like
like it, though.
but I felt like in Las Vegas things were working for me better. You know what I mean? Like just my getting around the convention was working better, and I was making it to more events that I wanted to go to instead of having trouble finding the room or location of them.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was easier
I
in
just
New
thought,
Orleans.
I guess I felt like the convention was better organized in Las Vegas than New Orleans. I guess like
I
Part
don't
of
know.
it
like
was
I
because
that
of
wasn't in New
that
Orleans, but
hotel in Las Vegas because there were so many escalators around. And with my smaller
oh,
legs, I'm
and
not
it was
supposed to be
just
on one.
huge. It was just. I mean, I don't care what you say. It was just a huge place, Las
It
Well,
Vegas.
was.
it always every hotel or every time they have two hotels or whatever for the convention, it's always a huge place. I'm just saying, I just feel like it was easier getting around and navigating in Las Vegas
I
than
did
it
not
was in New
feel
Orleans.
it was easy in that hotel.
Well, not
But
necessarily in the hotel, but out on the streets, walking around the hotel and
mm,
or crossing the street in the hotel or walking down the street to different stores nearby and stuff like that. I just felt like there was less traffic congestion in Vegas than there was in New
mm,
Orleans, and I
you're
just felt
right.
like stuff was more accessible as blind people. So that's just the way I felt. But here's one thing, so Las Vegas was before the quarantine and New Orleans was after the quarantine. So maybe they just weren't able to plan the convention as well because it's been a couple of years since they had one at that point.
Yeah, they couldn't decide
It's
till last
possible.
minute whether they're going in person or not. Yeah.
Well, and I'll point out too that I was reading on Reddit the other day. I read on Reddit a lot, but it seems like, to zoom out a little bit, it seems like a lot of societal attitudes have changed a lot since COVID. So, in other words, what I mean by that is there were a bunch of people complaining, and I mean a bunch of people complaining that you can't even go camping anymore, man. Here in Arizona, people are so freaking rude and disrespectful. Just loud music,
Oh
beer
dear.
bottles
Oh,
everywhere. Just,
oh my gosh.
I mean, and people are like, man, you can't even go camping anymore unless you go out to like the back country, like the back country. It's like, oh wow, I didn't.
My goodness.
Really, is there back country in
Oh yeah, there
Arizona? Because
is.
that sounds like my kind of territory to go camping.
Yeah, there is, but I mean that's the kind of stuff. I mean, you get no cell service. There's nobody around.
Well,
there's nothing.
Oh,
That's
well, you don't understand the kind of camping we used to do in Montana, right? Like very, very rural. And so the way you described the camping in Arizona, that sounded good. I might go check it out.
Well, apparently you have to now, which is sad, because if you just
is
go
sad.
camping at a campground, apparently and a lot of people said like, oh yeah, it's post 2020, it's post COVID, like didn't used to
Oh
be like
dear.
this, but it's yeah, since 2020. So
A
it's
lot
like,
of things have changed. A
I
lot of
guess.
restaurants have gone out of
Well,
business.
at one point, I think there were a lot of people living on the road or who were homeless, so they were migrating around. Do you guys know if maybe that's still going on a lot? Maybe that's why the environment is dirty, right? And when you go out camping and stuff, because maybe there's a lot of people who are literally living out there at least part of the year just to survive, so maybe, does that make sense?
Well,
I know they're living in the parks.
yeah, I was gonna say it does, but see, I think that's where I do agree with this current administration. We need to clean up our places, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I know that seems a little bit kind of disingenuous, but we need to. I mean, nobody wants to see dirty diapers everywhere and used needles everywhere. And
No,
nobody
thanks.
wants to see that. It's like we need
No.
Yeah, no, we need to open back up the asylums and we need to clear people off the streets. And then most of those people are not capable of living on their own. They're mentally ill, they're drug addicts, they're just cannot live, they cannot put their shit together. So, I mean, they need help, and leaving them in the streets, it's inhumane. So.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and if that's determined, like I'll say here in Phoenix, what I thought was very rude. We had a big homeless area, and it was called the Zone. It was like multiple blocks, and they cleared that out. But when they did that, they asked the people, "We have places that you can go. You don't have to be on the street. Do you want to go there?" Some of them said no. I don't. Some of them did, but some of them just said no. And it's like, oh my gosh, they're offering you a place to go.
Well, that proves the point. That proves the point.
And you're just turning it down, like.
Well, that's proved the point that the Democrats are idiots by saying all the time, "Oh, we have housing problem." No, we don't have housing problem. We have homeless problem. People who do not want to have house, and if they do, they'll trash it in no time and go back to the street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird.
It may be a mental illness, you guys.
Well, it is obviously
Yes.
cases.
It's just like the bus benches at the bus stops. They're using those for people that are homeless, and the parks are using.
Yeah.
So,
well, the homeless are living, quotes around living, anywhere they can. Like a lot of homeless people are swept up and pushed aside as though they're just rubbish. Let's move to another location if the city doesn't like where they're at.
Well, that's why you need vagrants laws. We need vagrants laws again.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be roaming the street. Make yourself useful. If you can't go somewhere, or we have to institutionalize you if you can't.
So have you guys, when I lived in Missoula for a couple years, I volunteered with my church, and we fed the homeless people, and we had a lot of drunks and drug addicts and people who were like crazy or schizophrenic and shit like that came to our facility every week, right, to get food. And we got to know a lot of these people, and these people, like, and then throughout the weeks we'd be like, "Hey, did you see so and so, or have you seen so and so?" referring to a specific homeless man or woman that would usually come down to get food on Fridays or Saturdays, right? Because I actually volunteered with two different churches. One we did it on Friday nights, and one we did it on Saturday nights. And the thing is, a lot of the homeless people that would come down, they and people say they choose to be homeless. I wouldn't say they choose to be homeless. They're unable to go to work to earn enough money to support a house. And so they choose to not work, or they can't work. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's because of a mental problem, right? A lot of times it's because they've seen combat, right? Or they grew up in a dangerous or abusive situation, or as an adult they've been through an abusive or violent situation. You know what I mean? And people's minds can only take so much. You know what I mean? And so I just remember that when I was working closely with the homeless people, right? Like, a lot of them, they weren't bad people, they weren't lazy people, they were just, I guess you'd call them sick people. You know what I mean? But they weren't sick like, "Here's a pill, go home and go to bed and you'll feel better." They had like a mental breakdown, or just like they couldn't mentally do life anymore.
Well, and I agree with you. Like, I've heard plenty of very intelligent people who are homeless. So I don't view the homeless population as just this homogenous, glob of glop that we should just, not care about. I'm not quite saying that, but I don't know. Just kind of like Anya's saying, I think there needs to be standards, like, if you just don't care about your life and all you're doing every day is just getting as drunk and as high as you can, like, that's not respectable. That's
right.
Yeah, and what you turn major streets into, major cities. I mean, we are the best country in the world, a lot of people say, right? But if you go to a lot poorer places, like, you still see cleaner streets. Like, if you go to Russia, you will not see, in the middle of Moscow or St. Petersburg, you will not see encampments. They just simply do not allow that. That is to say, no homeless. Yes, there are homeless, but they are hiding away. And it's not going to be tolerated. We are way too damn kind in this country. We make it too convenient for people to be homeless.
Right.
Well, and the idea that just, I mean, if we look at a lot of our major cities in this country, it's like, man, something's gotta be done. Like it's just. For example, and I don't mean to pick on you Portlanders. But I'm gonna for a minute, because back around when the COVID-19 pandemic was, at the height of horribleness, people would just basically kill themselves, and the cops had to carry Narcan every time they went out. And it's like, oh yeah, I just know I'm gonna have to administer Narcan. It's like, wow.
Are you saying people were intentionally trying to overdose?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I saw multiple video, and the police just knew, like, oh, okay, well, I have to Narcan this person because, I'm not just gonna let him die, knowing that. So it's like, wow, dude, that's crazy, man. That's so.
Yeah, well, I heard that since Trump started all this cleanup in DC, I heard it's gotten a lot better.
Oh yeah, that's what they were saying. They were interviewing lots of different people on TV that lived in Washington D.C., and they were all saying that. So, ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back. Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time: The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now back to the show. Okay, guys, are you all there?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
I am here.
Okay, great.
Well,
you were. Oh, sorry.
This is my perspective. I want to speak accurately here. I think is it the mayor or the governor of DC? Muriel Bowser.
Oh yeah.
That's her name. I guarantee you that. Even she is maybe like conceding, like, okay, I guess it's not so bad. So here's my thing. Even if Muriel Bowser doesn't want the National Guard to stay there long term, I can understand that. I don't think they should be a permanent occupying force. That is unconstitutional. But I also have no respect for these people, like in Chicago, Pritzker, just outright saying, no, we don't want them. We don't need them. Do not send them. No. That's not even productive dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it'd be a different story if Pritzker said, okay, Trump, like, I don't like this. Just so you know, I don't like this. And they're not going to stay here long term. But he doesn't even want them to show up.
And that's what really gets me. He is supposed to represent the citizens who elected him. And he's speaking for all of them when he says, we don't want you. And I think he's wrong. I think the citizens want Trump to come there and make their city safe so they can walk.
I think many of them do. Many of them do.
Oh, I'm sure. And I think these stupid Democratic lawmakers in these cities who are saying, get out of here, Trump, we don't want you here. We don't want you here with the military and with the peacekeeping forces, right? I think they're going to wind up paying for that again in the next election, because the voters are going to remember that, once again, it's the Democrats endangering the citizenry and preventing Trump from protecting us,
But I wish, and maybe one of you have seen that I haven't seen, because I haven't looked for it. I'll admit I haven't looked for it. But I do remember that Trump said a lot of so-called journalists, right? People in the media were carjacked and stuff. And I haven't really heard them say, like, yeah, it really has been nice. Like, have you guys heard, has anybody admitted, like, in the media that you know of any journalists or anything, like, or reporters, like, it has been nice? Or have you not heard anything?
What I have heard is, I remember hearing at least one, I think there were actually two different reporters say that they were happy that Trump was doing it because they knew of co-workers who had been carjacked or shit like that in the last few years. You know what I mean? So I just remember hearing at least two different employees say that, you know what I mean, of the city.
I just thought that, again, even if you don't agree with it, like especially long term, it's okay to admit like, oh well, it hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be, or like, well, I mean, I guess it is kind of nice. I guess I didn't realize how bad it was until.
Well, Brandon, let me ask you: have you ever heard of corporate media, Democrat media, as I like to call it, ever saying, "Oops, sorry, we got this wrong. I guess Trump was right," or something, or whatever?
But I think they should. I think we all should. We should too.
But they never do that. They just ignore.
Well, but we do though. People on the moderate right do because like the Department of Justice admitted in the beginning. Okay, you know what? Like this Kilmar guy. Okay, we were a little bit premature. We'll bring him back, and we brought him back. So,
hey guys, what do you guys think about the Epstein files and everything that's going on with that right now? Like, do you guys think everything should be revealed and opened up?
I don't really follow this. I honestly don't even care at this point about Epstein files. I mean, I heard that there was some documents released that cleared Trump completely off of it, like because there were some rumors on the left to like, oh, there's Trump's name there. That's why it's all this garbage. That's the last thing I heard. But I honestly don't care. He's gone. Yes, it would be nice to see some justice to those abusers, but I doubt we're gonna see that.
Well, I could really care less personally, but all of those victims they're like testifying before Congress this week, they all deserve justice, and it's because of them that I feel like we shouldn't just let it go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm excited, and I understand that it's a nuanced issue, and so, but I'm kind of excited to see if they were, which I think this is a little risky, but if they were to just release everything, which I don't think they're going to do, in consideration of the victims, like when I say release everything, that would mean that like we would all know where the victims live, we would know their phone number. I mean everything. See, I don't think we should go that far, so they can be re-victimized. I don't want that. But I'm excited to see what we citizens might be able to uncover. Because, have you guys heard? They say that Disney is pretty bad too. They say Disney is really weird. The higher ups at Disney are really weird. They do really weird things. A lot like Epstein did. And so, that's horrible, that kind of stuff.
They've been saying that if there was anything bad about Trump in the papers, in all of the evidence, that it would have been released during the Biden administration. I think that's absolutely right. And you know what? I think there's a lot of dirt, a lot of really nasty dirt in those files on a lot of really powerful people in this country. And I think when it finally does come out, that it's just gonna, like, it might be the end of the Democrats. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, it's the most convincing is that, Biden's administration had 4 years of power, and they abused their power, but that's a different story. But, knowing how they went after Trump, using every legal and illegal means to hunt him down,
and illegal means.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. So do you think they would not have used any of that information if there was any of that information?
Oh, yeah, they would have, for sure. They would have used it.
No, that's why I say, you know what? I don't think he was there. His name was really there. Because they would not have messed this up.
I'm not at all calling for anarchy. I'm not. But you know what? I'll bet you there's only about 20 members of Congress who are clean. Then that might even be high. All the rest of them, hey, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. If you're doing shady, dodgy, sketchy, disgusting
you think
crap,
it's that high? You think there's only 20 members of Congress that are good people that haven't committed any horrible crimes against the American people?
Oh, it might be a shorter list than that. It might only be 10 or 15. So everybody else, it's like, you know what? While you set up there and make $174,000 a year on average, and our roads are crap, our bridges are crap, our homeless population is out of control, our criminal stats are out of control. What do I need you for?
Yeah, you really have to
I'm
ask
sorry, but
yourself.
I just think there's people that could do just as good a job. They'd have a lot more common sense.
And we really need to ask ourselves, with all the people that every one of those congressmen and women are making on us all the time, why is our country going to hell in a handbasket like it is everywhere? That's really, makes you wonder, because they should be working very, very hard for all that money that we pay them. You know what I mean?
I feel like they do.
It seems to me like they're mostly vacationing, though.
One of the biggest things I've heard about is Space Force, and that was 2018, thanks to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And again, but you heard, Donald Trump bombed that boat.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
I like that direct action. That's direct kinetic action. I like that.
I love Trump. He's so decisive when he does things.
Yeah.
He's so decisive and to the point, I really love it.
But he said, on I think Truth Social or X, let this be a warning. If you're thinking of bringing drugs into this country, I mean, let's shut it down. Let's actually shut it down. So it was really encouraging that he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you guys hear all this crap they were talking over the weekend? Oh, Trump's dead. Trump's dead.
Oh, that was so weird.
Yeah, even my friends from Ukraine was sending me like TikTok videos, even already translated to Russian and stuff. Like, oh, did you hear? Like, what's going on there? Tell us what's going on. I was like, nothing. They're just wish casting. That's all.
Yeah, they're just daydreaming, hoping they might be right. They're fantasizing.
I mean, Trump. Yeah, 3 days. Trump was kind of low key. Not doing much. Labor Day weekend. After working 24/7 since his inauguration, he's been working tirelessly, and then all they started suspecting something. Where was their interest? Where was their curiosity when Biden, half asleep was there?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it was kind of bizarre what they started saying. But finally,
and I hope Trump does start getting more rest on a routine basis. I do, because I mean that whole thing. I mean, it's okay, but that whole thing about I want to try to get to heaven. It's like whoa, Trump, dude, are you just kind of on autopilot? What? I don't think the president of the United States.
When did he say that? I didn't hear that. What happened?
That's for a pastor to say or to talk about in church. Like I don't. That's what are you saying, man? Like you need to go to bed, I think.
When did he say that? I didn't hear about that. Did they?
He called in and was talking with people from Fox, and he
was on Fox Live when he said that.
Yes, and he went on his whole opinion about I really want to try to get to heaven, and I don't know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if I'm doing a good enough job, but I'd really try to make it to heaven. And it's like, whoa, what, dude? What?
Well, by the way, that's not. I mean, any of us can say, yeah, I would like to end up in heaven, but it doesn't mean that today, like.
No. But I'm saying that just seems very odd, like I don't want to hear what kind of hamburger the president wants to eat. I guess he likes hamburgers a lot. I don't want to that's not what you're there to do, man. I don't need to know your Burger King order. Hopefully it's Burger King, not McDonald's. I don't know, but it's, I don't, it's like, whoa, that's weird.
No, I haven't heard it. Whoa.
Are you guys?
I don't know what it is.
What's that?
I don't know.
But
there's something going on. Gino, can you? I wonder if our.
It's only on Lori's. Something's wrong with her connection.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's weird.
Well,
I couldn't figure out where the sound was coming from. I was like, what is that?
Lori, can you say something so we can see if it's still going on? Lori, speak up.
No.
Lori, can you speak up? Hello, Lori?
Lori is totally frozen.
Oh, she is. Oh, there must be a problem with her connection. So should we? I don't have any idea what time it is because my Alexa's not working currently, so I don't know. Don't even know how much.
Oh yeah, what about it? I kind of forgot. It always It always reminds you. What happened to it?
To my Alexa, I don't know. Like it just quit working on Sunday, and I think I need a new one because my handyman hasn't been able to figure it out.
Well,
let me tell you guys super quick, and then it's almost 6. So, but I know a little bit about it, but I can't speak exhaustively about it. But there's a new thing called Alexa Plus, right? I guess that's kind of.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, it's from what I understand, at least, it's like an upgrade to the regular Alexa experience. So it's supposed to have like higher levels of reasoning and logic and stuff, and it's supposed to have more like natural conversational abilities and stuff, I think. So, but I think there's a cost for it though, so I don't know.
I wonder what is better at this point: Google Assistants or Alexa. I don't know.
Well, the one you heard me use earlier was Gemini.
Yeah, but what I have like a stationary speaker, but I can't have Gemini on it, can I?
So you will be able to if it's from Google. They keep saying it's gonna roll out. But
I have smart speaker, okay, but I had it for years, so I don't think it's the latest.
So
I'm right there with you. Then maybe not. Yeah, I have an old Google smart speaker too. I don't think it's gonna get it either.
Brandon, can I ask you a question and maybe you'll know my answer?
Yeah.
So my Yamaha soundbar that has ALEXA, it's not working anyways. That has Alexa built into it. Quit working this weekend, and this is the second one such soundbar that's done that to me. And so instead of reordering another one, I thought I'd go and try to find an alternative. And when I went to Walmart and stuff like that, they didn't have any soundbars with Alexa built into them. So my question is, if I get a Bluetooth speaker, can I connect it to my iPhone and turn over my Alexa app on my iPhone? And then if I speak to my Bluetooth speaker, will my phone like stay open so I can operate it like while I'm on my treadmill and stuff like I usually do?
Something happened. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened to my phone.
Hey, Lori.
Brandon, did you hear my whole question though before Lori came back? Do you know if I could do that with a regular Bluetooth speaker?
Well, okay. So if it's a Bluetooth speaker, it's probably going to ultimately be controlled by your phone.
So I won't be able to control it with my voice.
Not just a regular Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Well, then take it to Best Buy. Maybe they can help you there. Figure out.
Maybe.
Well, I should go to Best Buy and talk to them there and see if they could probably help me. Tell me where to go to find a speaker that has Alexa built into it, because I couldn't find any at Walmart, and I don't want to order another one from Amazon because, like I said, I've already had 2 that went to.
But you can take your broken one, so supposedly broken one, and then see if they can help you fix it there, because I'm sure they're more techy than your handyman.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But here's another part of the problem. It has to be connected like to my Wi-Fi network, because what if that is the problem? What if it's just not connected to my Wi-Fi network? You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And like my phone and all our other devices are connected to my Wi-Fi network, but what if it's simply become detached from the Wi-Fi network? I don't know for sure. So that's why I'm kind of at a loss.
I can tell you this: moving an Echo to a different Wi-Fi network is really kind of complicated. If it's the same one, it might not be as bad because it should have that one saved. But moving it, if you have to, for whatever reason, move it to a different one, that's not easy.
Here's what I'm thinking about, though. Like before I ever got my sound, can you guys hear me? What is that feedback I'm getting? Before I ever got my soundbar with my Alexa built into it, I used to have a little Echo Dot that had Alexa in it. And it just occurred to me, I wonder if I could connect one of those to a Bluetooth speaker, and then I could speak to the Echo Dot and the music would come out through the Bluetooth speaker, I bet. So it'd be louder than one of those little Echo Dots.
Well, that's a good question.
I'm gonna go to Best Buy tomorrow and ask them if I could do that, because
that would be interesting to know.
Because then I could just speak to the Echo Dot and it would come out through the Bluetooth speaker, so it'd be louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
I could
Yeah,
do
you
that,
could
Brandon,
try.
you think? Okay, thank you. Then I'll go to Best Buy tomorrow and try to find something like that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I haven't so this is Wednesday. I haven't been able to use my Alexa since like Sunday morning, and it's
Oh,
driving me
dear.
crazy. Yeah, so mostly because I use her like for that when I do my treadmill and when I do my punching bag, I have my Alexa on so I can listen to the music and sing along with it, and it makes the
Right.
time go so much faster when I'm working out, so I don't get so bored, you know.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, you let us know how it goes next week.
Yes.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep us posted because
Yeah.
I think we're at a really interesting point. So definitely, you know, I like that on this show we do help each other out, you know, with our own experiences and stuff, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Are we
that's
still
true.
on the show? I wasn't sure about that because of what happened. With the
Yeah,
sound.
you're still in the show, Lori.
Okay.
Should be wrapping up though. It's,
Yeah, we're about to wrap up.
No, I wasn't sure because of all the static that I heard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're still live.
Now, are you referring to me, Lori, or actual static?
Oh, Brandon.
So before we go, can I tell you guys something that changed in my life this week?
Sure.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, Patrick came back this weekend.
What?
Yeah, he came back.
No. What?
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to come back, but he's back.
Oh no.
And you're allowing that?
So far it's going pretty good.
Well, I hope it goes okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becca, be
No,
careful.
I mean I really do too, but
We're giving it another try. But you guys aren't really here and involved in my life, but the people who are, when he left, they were all shocked. Just like I was shocked. They were all like, "Really? He left, but you guys seem so right for each other, you know?" So
I got ya.
yeah, so it didn't surprise me when he came back, and it hasn't surprised any of my friends either, because they're like, "Oh yeah, we were wondering," because. And so here's what I think. I think this thing in him is probably due to his Asperger's, and so I realize this is just like if I want to have a permanent life with this man that I love, I may have to face the fact that every once in a while life is going to get too stressful for him and he may have to take off for a vacation somewhere and get out of town for a while, you know.
Oh.
And so I told him, I was like, next time you need to leave town, let me know and we can go together or whatever, you know what I mean? But at least let's stay in touch until you're over whatever's stressing you out, you know?
I see.
Because I really want to make this relationship work, and he does too. And so, yeah, we're going to work on it and just agree to do that, right?
Did he ask for permission to come, or he just showed up?
Oh yeah. Well, we've been talking a lot. I mean, not a lot, but several times since he left 2 months ago, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not like he asked permission to come back, but we've been talking about it. And on Saturday we were talking about it, and he's like, I don't remember who said it first, but we basically came to the conclusion that, well, why don't you just start driving back now since we want to be together and you're not doing anything? So he literally just put gas in his car and turned around and started coming this way on Saturday, you know? And then he drove until he got here late on Sunday. So,
well, I mean,
so it's like it wasn't really planned, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I can say, and I am actually a bit of an authority figure on this. Long-term relationships do take work. They do, you know, they do take compromise. They do take boundaries. They do take work. So I can understand that. So, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, as long as the two of you can make things work, that's
yes.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Becca. Let us know how it goes.
Good luck.
I will. Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta get going. Gina, are you wrapping us up or?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
thanks
if
for
you guys are
joining us
done.
today. And if anybody wants to, like I was saying earlier in the show, like I think we can maybe go for some more panelists on here and maybe some more male panelists, so it's not so heavy weighted one way. So if you're watching and if you are a legally blind or blind person and you'd like to be a panelist on here, please email us at beccameadows76@gmail.com. Thank you very much for your time. And peace out, y'all. That's a wrap.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.